Guys, we are back. I told you yesterday to watch the $1 billion whale print on Micron. I told you that the smart money just wasn't hedging this stock. They were positioning for a fundamental shift, and we saw that shift today. What the market gave us today was the answer I think we all been looking for. Was the rally real or was it a trap? Guys, after seeing today's performance, I think we all have to say it is real for sure. Today we witnessed one of the most historic follow-through days in memory that I've seen in a while. Micron has officially cleared the 420 level, and SanDisk has hit an all-time high with an explosive day of 9% growth in a single session today. This isn't a relief rally anymore. This is an inference re-rating rally that we saw today. And we're going to break down what we saw across the Fab Four of Micron, SanDisk, Western Digital, and Seagate today. The performance of these titans overall, and what the massive meta deal that was just leaked, what it means for SanDisk. Why did that stock have such an explosive performance today? It's all because of what the deal was that was announced with Meta. And what the vertical means overall, this vertical move that we've seen the last few days for memory, what it means for your portfolio as we head into the weekend. Guys, if you haven't done it already, hit like, hit subscribe to the channel. As you know, I'm sitting in here in New York, just outside of Wall Street. Such an awesome spot to be and watch the performance of these stocks rally today. It was awesome. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let's dive in and let's take a look at the performance of the Fab Four that we saw today. Let's jump around the horn. I want to start with Micron, as always. Micron, what I thought, guys, remember what I said last night, or I actually said this morning in the video, is watch the 402, 404 level. That's the level I want to see. And we did see a little bit of a dip. It actually got down to about 399, the low of the day. But the stock rallied. If you look just to the right, you can see the day's range. It hit just below 399, but it rallied up to a high of just about 424 today. The stock finished with almost a $15 gain, over 3.5%. Closed at 421.47. We are over the 420 floor again. And it feels good. We haven't been to this level in a while. As I mentioned, I was hoping to break through 416 today. I think the next psychological level for this stock is 430. Will we see it tomorrow? Or will we see some trimming and some profit taking tomorrow before we head into the weekend? Let's hope. Let's see what the opening bell brings us. But in the after hours right now, we're down just slightly. It's way too early to give any indicators on this. We have to see how it evolves overnight and into the pre-market hours tomorrow morning. But let's celebrate another outstanding day today for memory, another outstanding day today overall for Micron. I'm going to jump around the horn. I'm going to come to SanDisk last, but I want to show you Seagate. Seagate again. This has been the leader of the group all week. And Seagate, once again, put up strong performance today. They closed over $500. You can see their range. They got up to a high of 508 today at some point, almost 509 a share. That's an amazing growth. Just think about what we've seen this week. If I just scroll down, look at the week overall. I mean, we had a 17% growth for Seagate 1 week. The 1 month growth, almost 34%. This stock has been on fire. I feel like when we started really diving into memory on this channel, everyone was forgetting about the storage players. We were forgetting about Seagate and Western Digital and the importance of these players to the overall AI infrastructure build out. Everybody was focused on both the flash, the NAND, as well as the DRAM and the HBM. But guys, I think the performance that we've seen from Seagate and Western Digital this week just shows you the importance of these players, show you the importance of the storage players overall, and why they're critically important and why they are signing long-term agreements with customers right now. But Seagate, $4.50 on the board, 1% growth, another strong day for them. Western Digital was the one outlier today. You can see it was essentially flat. It was down 70 cents overall. It had a strong run yesterday, closed at 338, but it did touch up towards 345 today. You can see the range from 329.50 to 345.10. In the after hours, again, essentially flat, down about 88 cents overall. So we'll keep our eye on that one also, but they've been on a run. If we just forget today's performance, look over here at the bottom. For 1 week, almost 15%, 1 month, 29% for Western Digital. So they were the one outlier today overall. One of the stocks, Western Digital, kind of decoupled from the rest today. Something to keep our eye on as we move into Friday's trading session. But let's get to SanDisk. SanDisk was the absolute star of the day today. point I looked down and they were hitting over 855, reaching towards 855. I think $77 on the board, in that range. But you can see they closed with a $70 gain. 9% growth exploded out of the gate. And in the after hours right now, they are continuing to move. Why is this one stock more than the others? I think the reality is, if I jump over here, you can see why. And this is from Barron's, and it says SanDisk jumps. Wall Street sees even more gains after the staggering 2,000% rally. And they go in and mention there's a few new price targets for SanDisk, both from Bernstein as well as from another brokerage house. But Bernstein has moved the price target for SanDisk to 1,250. So 1,250. They moved it from the 1,000 price target they had overall. This implies a 60%. You can see here, 60% upside from where the stock, its last closing price. That was yesterday, not today. So a little less, but overall, guys, the stock still has room to go. And not just SanDisk, but we also saw another house also move up their price target to 1,000. I think it was, here you go, Cantor Fitzgerald. They moved their price from 800 to 1,000 on SanDisk. This is part of the story overall. They're just seeing the demand for NAND, also for high bandwidth flash. That was the big story with Meta that we saw today. So SanDisk was the strong performer. I love this line right here when it said SanDisk has been a massive outperformer. Shares have soared over 2,500 in the past 12 months, leagues ahead of the S&P 500's 29 gain, and even leagues ahead of another memory maker, Micron's 473% gain. Just think about that. We know the growth has been parabolic with Micron. Like SanDisk has been significantly higher than that. I mean, it has been a really strong story, 5-6x growth over Micron. Pretty incredible to think about, but they were the star today, put on such a performance overall. It was really impressive to see. There was a few things I think that were driving the market today overall, the sentiment in the market. I mentioned in the beginning, it was the Meta Edge deal. Meta deal we saw, I think that one rallied. The rumors hit today that Meta just signed a $21 billion agreement for AI infrastructure. The kicker with this agreement, and why it means so much for SanDisk, is they are not just buying GPUs. They are securing high bandwidth flash. This is SanDisk's specialty. We know they're working with an arrangement with other memory providers to build high bandwidth flash. It's this holy trinity we mentioned before of SK Hynix as well as TSMC to build this piece. But Meta needs a local high capacity inference, and SanDisk is the only one right now that can ship at scale for their customers. So this is a massive announcement. It's a massive move as we see this shift from compute to inference overall. Is what position will high bandwidth flash have on this sector? What position will it have on inference overall? And how more important will SanDisk be moving forward overall to the AI infrastructure build out and just overall in the memory sector? I think we continue to also see a bit of the Samsung kind of echo of their earnings. We're still feeling the shock waves of Samsung's 755 profit surge overall. Analysts spent the day raising price targets across the memory sector today overall. And the consensus is now that memory pricing isn't just recovering, it's going to go parabolic in the next 12 months or so. So the last one piece that I think this overall that caused this overall effect today in memory is the cooling off period. So the 48-hour ceasefire for Iran that we've seen so far is holding. The war discount is gone. We are shifting back into risk-on assets. Capital is rotating out of defensive oil plays, out of treasury yields, and rotating back into high-growth sectors like semiconductors, like memory, and like tech overall. Today was, well, let me jump before I would say that's another evidence of this is the VIX. If you look at where the VIX closed today, it's at a 19. It's below 20. When's the last time we've seen the VIX below 20? And Brent crude right now is about 95. Guys, that is two huge signals that energy prices are coming down with the Brent crude, and fear and anxiety is rotating out of the market as we start to see maybe this Operation Epic Fury wrap up, come to a close, and we can fully see the markets get back into the bull run that we need to see. So from a technical trader's perspective, I would say the story today was multiple expansion, particularly when you focus on Micron and SanDisk. Historically, those two companies were punished with low PE ratios because they were cyclical. This was a commodity sector. They were going to die off due to the cyclicality of memory overall. But when you look at today's volume, it was 2.5 times the average for these companies. The market is starting to treat these memory players, and particularly Micron, SanDisk, and Seagate, I would say, as companies that are so important to the build out. They are the AI utilities right now. Micron's HBM is sold out through 2027. SanDisk's high bandwidth flash is becoming the standard for the inference area. When a stock gaps up on high volume like we saw today and holds those gains, that is a clear sign of institutional accumulation, and that's what we saw today in the memory sector. The 400 level on MU that I thought we would hold, or we needed to hold, and I'd say the 800 level on SanDisk, these aren't just targets anymore. These are the new floor. This is the support floor for these stocks now. Where do we go from here? What do we look like as we head into Friday and ultimately into the weekend? I would say it's officially clear. We are moving from the training phase to the inference phase. And in the inference phase, memory capacity is the new bottleneck. The sector has been structurally starved. It's been undersupplied and will be undersupplied until late 2027. Tomorrow's game plan, I think we should expect to see some profit taking as before we head into the weekend. These stocks have been on a run this week. I think it's only fair to see both retail and institutional investors take some capital off the table, put the profits back in their pocket. I'm going to watch the 416 level for Micron, and I'm going to watch the 835 level for SanDisk. If we can hold those levels and even move beyond them, then the trend that we saw today is our friend as an investor. Question is, should you trim personally? That's an individual decision overall. I would say for me, I'm not going to trim, but make sure you make all the decisions yourself based on your individual situation and what's best for your portfolio. But when you're up over 40% in a week, like we saw, SanDisk is up 46% in the last 7 trading sessions overall. So when you're at that level, it is a smart decision at times to take some chips off the table, put the profit in your pocket, play with house money. It's never a bad idea. But remember, the whales who bought a $1 billion print yesterday from Micron, they're not just looking for a 3% gain. They are playing for a full re-rating with this stock. So guys, what an outstanding day today. I hope you feel as passionate as I do about the performance that we have seen this week, that we've seen over the last couple of days. It's been amazing to see these stocks rally again. I don't hear the comments below about the folks that were saying that these stocks were going to drive back down to the 200 level. They were going to crash through the floor. Those have gotten really quiet on the channel. I welcome those opinions. I know I'm being pretty excited right now, and I'm ultimately very optimistic and bullish on this sector. But I think due to the demand that we see in the market, it's due to everything we're building out in the AI infrastructure. And it's just great to see these stocks valued again now that risk is being taken off the table. Another thing I'll say in closing is, guys, we're getting really close to the 6,000 subscriber level for this channel. So if you value this content, if you've learned something on the channel and you haven't hit like or subscribe yet, or you haven't subscribed, please do it. Share this channel with your friends. We're trying to grow it as fast as I'm trying to grow it as fast as I can to make sure we get these insights and knowledge out to all investors. But thanks for joining. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.